Welcome. We're back. How's everybody doing? Pretty interesting day, just for stocks, I guess. My mic might be a little bit loud. Yeah, but just for stocks, the morning was great, and then the afternoon was not so great. I'll talk about why and how I kind of was anticipating that in the morning. What I was looking at on the Nasdaq, that was pretty bearish. And we'll take a look at all the indexes. But before we even get into stocks, Bitcoin is moving very nicely. I put out an alert on Bitcoin about maybe 8 days ago, I think, pretty much like in the beginning of March, when it was around right over here, when it was at 45k. Never got down to the optimal entry, but I said in the Discord to be entering some of the position right there just in case it took off right away with the divergence. That's pretty much what happened on Bitcoin, and it's been going very nicely. It's really close. It's about 5-6% away from the initial target of the trade. But again, if you're in the Discord, I also added 2 new targets to the trade, because if it can really break 52.7k, I mean, there's no other resistance until the previous all-time high at 57k. That's the second target, and if it breaks that previous all-time high at 57k, the third target I put was the 1272 Fibonacci extension. So I added 2 more targets. That was alerted to the Discord a couple days ago. And yeah, Bitcoin's doing very nicely. It's trying to break out as we speak. It's about an hour and 52 minutes until the 4-hour candle closes, so you need to wait for that for confirmation. But it is trying to break 52.7k, which was your high right over here, and it was your high over here. So great stuff. Bitcoin doing well. We'll see what the crypto stocks do tomorrow. And yeah, it's Bitcoin. Let's go look at futures real quick. They're up just a little bit, really not that much, pretty much flat. We'll see how they develop during the night, but let's look at the actual index, or the S&P 500 index. Not too much of an edge. It's really a 50-50 here on the S&P. You're right in the middle of this broadening wedge. Remember when it was at the bottom of this broadening wedge, I alerted on Twitter and in the Discord that I thought that the short-term bearish trend was over, and you got a huge bounce. You pretty much recovered halfway back up to where you were, maybe a little bit more, maybe like 60% of the way. Let's see. Yeah, you went pretty much to the golden retrace on the S&P 500. You also went to 3873, which was your high from over here, and that's where you kind of topped out at today. So the S&P still does look better than the Nasdaq in my opinion. You saw a major trend today was that tech was selling off pretty hard, and industrials were doing very well. For example, the Nasdaq, I think is down like 10% or something from the highs, and the Dow Jones hit all-time highs today, I believe. So huge rotation from tech, high growth stocks to more value, retail stocks like that. So we'll look at everything else, but that's the S&P 500, kind of a 50-50. The QQQ, I'm not going to really look at that tonight. I think the Nasdaq matters a little bit more. So yeah, this is how I was able to anticipate the drop in the afternoon. I was talking about it. Again, if you're not on the Discord, you're not getting these intraday updates, and those are insanely important. So I talked about it in the Discord. I was showing how there was a break, hook, and go off of this head and shoulders pattern I saw on the Nasdaq. Mitch Ray also showed it on his stream when he's been looking at the Nasdaq. That's one of the cleanest head and shoulders I've seen in a while. Whether you use this as your right shoulder or this, or just both of them, I guess. Basically, you had a break, hook, and go. Now, what is a break, hook, and go? It means you broke your support, you went down a little bit, and then you had the hook. The hook means you rallied back up to flip your previous support into a resistance. The sellers were confirming that your $13,000 support is now your resistance. And when you fell after testing that during the day is when I became intraday bearish on tech stocks. For example, I closed out the Apple trade in the Discord when it was down like 3%, just because it didn't look too good. You couldn't break over 13k. That was your hook, and then you had your go, which is pretty much you really fell pretty much in the last 2 hours of the day. That's kind of what happened with the Nasdaq today. Just terrible movement in a lot of tech stocks. And yeah, that's what I was looking at today. Next support on the Nasdaq is 12,538. That's probably going to be touched tomorrow unless the market gaps up. And if you break that, that's when things get scary. You have no support really until about 12,079, which would be down here, the high from right there. So Tech looking pretty ugly, not gonna lie, but of course you could retest 13K very, very easily. You're just kind of in this range for right now between 12.5K and 13K in the NASDAQ. In the S&P 500, you're completely fine as long as you're above 37.23. So there is more room to the downside on the S&P and the NASDAQ before you're even talking about breaking out of these uptrends and creating like new, like confirmed downtrends. So you are just way up in space right now on pretty much all the indexes. You've already seen a nice move down. Will you get this bounce continuation? Potentially. It's just really, really hard to it's really hard to try and see what could be next, because it was much easier when you were at the bottom of the channel to say that it was bullish. When it was at the top of the channel, I was warning about the market. If you were in the stream back then, you could have anticipated this whole entire move down when I was showing you that it was at the top of this channel. But now you're in the middle, so it's literally a 50-50 in terms of which way the market goes. And then even from a fundamental standpoint, you have stimulus, but then you also have reopenings that can increase inflation. The 10-year yields, like there's so many different things going on that it's really hard to try and anticipate whether it's bullish or bearish. It's just kind of neutral. It can truly go either way. So that's just where we're at in the market. So you need to be prepared for either side. You need to be prepared if it's going to be going up or down. You could obviously just stay cash until you get more of a confirmation. But we'll have to see what happens. One thing I do like about the S&P though is that it's showing some hidden bullish divergence on the daily. It needs to develop more, but the last time you showed hidden bullish divergence on the S&P 500 on the daily, it went pretty much from the bottom of the channel to all-time highs, like a 6% rally, which would be awesome for stocks. The S&P 500, you're showing that again. It's not confirmed. We'll see if it actually can confirm in the coming days. But yeah, that's the current rate on the market. Unfortunately, not really able to give you a very clear signal because there isn't one. So I'm not going to make up a signal when there really isn't one. And that's just what's going on. It can go either way. And how can you really prepare for that? There's two different ways. You can either just stay cash until you get confirmation, or you can play a little bit of both. You can be buying the dips and selling the highs. You can be playing long and short at the same time. You can be longing stocks or buying stocks that look good. You can be shorting stocks that look overextended. You can get the volatility index or the ETF for it, which is the UVXY. You can get SQQQ. There's a bunch of different tickers you can get. You can get puts. However you want to play, whatever works best for you and your risk tolerance is probably the move to make. And the title of the stream is How to Survive during this market, right? How to survive this market. At the end of the day, I cannot give every single person the same answer. It's different for everybody. For some people, the best answer is to do nothing and wait until better times come. For other people, the answer is to be trading both sides intraday, buying, selling, depending on where the indexes are. It depends on where you're at. So the real answer I can give you is you need to figure out your choice, right? You can't just go into every single day trying to only be a bull or trying to only be a bear. You have to give light to both sides of it, because we are showing distribution where the bears and the bulls are trying to see which trend could be coming up next. So you can either take advantage of this volatility and play both sides, or you can just not risk positions in this volatility and wait. But you need to ask yourself what is best for your interest. What's your risk tolerance? How skilled are you as a trader? Are you skilled enough to be trading these intraday moves? Because if you are skilled enough, I know a lot of people are making a ton of money playing both sides of the ball. So for all the people who were just in here for just a straight line up, I'm sorry. If you were only here because there was a bull market, I'll see you later. But I'm going to be here whether it's a bear market, a bull market, or if we're going sideways. You don't have a bull market forever. And this is you're not even jeopardizing your bull market yet, so I'm not trying to act like it's over. I'm just saying you need to start. And I hope the last couple of weeks, I know it's tough for many, many people, but I hope at least you learned something. Because even myself, I was doing very, very well all throughout last year, not being overexposed. And that's how during these two drops over here in September and October, I actually was making a lot of profit in that time, because I wasn't overexposed and I was, seeing these different things, the bearish divergence and everything there was. But back in January, it was my biggest month ever. I definitely was pretty overexposed at the end of February. So just taking full accountability for that, but still confident. Futures bouncing up a little bit, like can't even talk. You like to see that, or it's nice to see that. Futures up about 0.38% on the S&P 500. Bitcoin is up 2% on the new day. Remember, Bitcoin is in UTC, Universal Time. So for me, that would be 7 p.m. EST when Bitcoin creates a new daily candle. And Bitcoin is really, really close to the target of the initial trade. And if it breaks that, you have a second and third target. If you're in the Discord, you already know about that. And yeah, good stuff, Bitcoin. You're really close to creating hidden bullish divergence. The last time you created hidden bullish divergence on Bitcoin, you went up about, is that right? Oh my gosh, you pretty much doubled in price the last time that there was hidden bullish divergence on the daily. When it started developing to the all-time high at 58K, I guess. It almost doubled in price on Bitcoin. I didn't even realize that. But yeah, I mean, there was even a trade over here on Bitcoin. So the last trade I put on Bitcoin, it hit the target, and then this trade on Bitcoin is inches away from the target. So hopefully I can go 2 for 2 on the last 2 trades with Bitcoin. And this one would be a 27% profit if it hit the first target. If it hit the third target, that would be a 37% profit. So I'm hoping, but don't get cocky. And of course, you could definitely be taking some profits here if you want. Just whatever's up to you. But this MACD continues going. Daily hidden bullish divergence is not a joke, especially on Bitcoin. And that's been proven time and time again. Was that song bad? Sorry, I just looked at the chat. Apologies for that. Bearish crab, yeah. I think Mitch Ray has been showing the bearish harmonics on a bunch of the indexes. Am I optimistic on the market? I'm really just neutral. I'm really not bullish or bearish right now. I'm not optimistic. I'm not pessimistic. I'm just taking it for what it is. I'm so truly unbiased and neutral. I don't care which way we go. I do honestly prefer that we go up because, well, there's a few reasons I prefer we go up. First of all, for everybody's retirement accounts, for all the people who don't have jobs right now and are using trading for a living. Of course, I hope the market goes up. Is it going to go up forever? Absolutely not. That's just not realistic, but I hope so. And, we'll see. I hope for other people and, like that. I don't want people to be losing money in stocks, and most people are bulls when it comes to stocks. Yeah, if we really do confirm a bear market, I'll probably be putting out some short trades. I usually don't trade puts that much. Whenever I'm bearish, I just go with the UVXY, which I put out a trade on that for today. Not because I'm bearish, but just to hedge the long trades I put out. If you're in the Discord, I already explained it, and I'll probably explain it in a second here. But yeah, let's go recap the day. I know when the market's doing things like this, less people are, showing out to the streams. A lot more people are frustrated, but for the people who are here, you're the real ones. You're going to be making it through this. We're all going to be making it through this. It's just, it is what it is, right? And it's not really that bad. I just think way too many people are overexposed up here to the market. But this is not even the biggest pullback that you've had during the bull run. You've had much bigger pullbacks during this actual bull run ever since the COVID lows. So it's just, the NASDAQ is a pretty big fall, not gonna lie, but it was running insanely. I'm pretty sure that the NASDAQ outperformed the S&P. Obviously it's more volatile, but let's go start talking about some individual stocks. Futures are going up 0.5%. Hopefully they can stay overnight. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but what is this? Your session highs on futures? I think they were up higher maybe before. Let's look at the 1 hour. Going up. Yeah, they were higher. I didn't even see that they opened up that well, but they opened up, then they fell, and now they're going back up. That's what's going on with the futures right now. But yeah, let's go look at the trades from today. Let's look at the trade sheet. I'm gonna look at all the charts for all the trades, try and find some new trades. Down the brightness a little bit. Let me switch over to the other screen. All right. So hope everybody had a good day. This is a sheet that's how we're going into the week. The new trades going into this week are UVXY, Space, MBio, and XPV. So pretty much these 4 are the new trades. All the other trades were carried over from last week. We'll talk about the rest, but before we do, I'm sorry, I know my camera's really bright now. I just forgot to lower the brightness, and I need to open up Logitech to do that. So I'm super bright today, but yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna do my plugs. Yeah, make sure to hit that like button. Let's get to 30 likes. Let's get however many likes you guys can get. Let's get to it. And yeah, hope everybody had a good day. If you want to support the channel, we are close to 2,300 subs. We've been close to it for a couple days now. I don't know if we have the power to do it, but if 4 people in here are not subscribed to the stream and you want to get free technical analysis every single day, hit the subscribe button. It's completely free. Yeah, 4 subscribers away from 2,300. If you want to send me a tip or get some merchandise, that's the pinned comment in the chat and the first link in the description. I don't think the credit card is working right now on the tips. I've been contacting Streamlabs. Super frustrating, but PayPal is working on the tips. Maybe the credit card's working out. I don't know if they fixed it. You can go check yourself if you want to send me a tip. But I've been trying to figure that out. I do know PayPal works though, because I got a PayPal tip yesterday. But yeah, that's the pinned comment in the chat. Let's talk about the day and everything. SNDL, so here's kind of what happened. When the market was falling, a very common thing for people to do when the market's falling and to lower their risk is a lot of people get out of their best trade and their worst trade, because that best trade offsets you cutting your losses on your worst trade. So that's kind of what I did with the trade sheet today. I kind of closed out the best trade on the sheet and the worst trade. And Apple was not the worst trade percentage wise. The chart just did not look good when I was looking at it, and the NASDAQ also looked bad. So what I did, I alerted the Discord. I pretty much just closed out the SNDL trade, 15% return. It did go higher later in the day. I think a lot of weak stocks bounced, maybe off of some news or something. But I also said in the Discord, I was just doing that to lower the risk that was on the sheet, because in the last couple of weeks, the sheet has been very, very overextended. And I don't want to have these many trades out in 1 week like last week. That was way too many trades. I don't want to be doing that again. So I'm trying to really, if something's in an area where you can take profit, I want to just get it done with, close up the trade, especially in this market. And then if something's really just under a support, I want to do the same thing. I just want to cut the losses, let it do whatever it wants to do. It's not going to be perfect. Like SNDL, I probably definitely could have held it. And that's why I said in the Discord, it's just up to you. I was just trying to lower the risk overall on the trades collectively. But of course, whatever matters for your personal portfolio is always what you need to be doing. None of this is financial advice. Just wanted to make that clear. Bitcoin is up 18% since the alert. US is up 12% since the alert. Clover is up 5% since the alert, although it was up 10% in the morning. It fell down in the afternoon. TNK is up 3%, Fisker 2%, ATRA 1%. The new trades are pretty much even, all 4 of them. The only trade that's not even out of the new trades I posted today is XPV. It's down 1%. I really liked XPV when I was scanning yesterday going into this week, but I saw that they had earnings this morning. So they had earnings this morning. It was up like 6 or 7% at one point, and then it fell, and then the stock price fell all the way down, and I think it closed down. Where's XPV? It was down 4%, and I posted the trade when it was down, when the actual stock was down 3% today. So yeah, the XPV trade's down 1%, and FEYE is down 2%, Palantir is down 5%, looking a little bit weird. And then BigCommerce, it's really almost at the stop loss. It's 1% away from the stop loss of the trade. I'm just kind of not stopping it out right now just to give it a shot at the open tomorrow. Maybe the market opens well tomorrow and it can save BigCommerce, but BigCommerce is truly hanging on by a thread. CCIV, we'll look at it, but basically, if you remember last week, we've been dealing with a lot of trades in the last few weeks are going up like double-digit percentages, like trades going up 18%, 16%, 14%, 19% since the entry. And then they're up like double-digit percentages, and then they go all the way back down to the stop losses of the trades. And I can't have that happening on the trades that are winning trades, because you never want to let a winning trade turn into a losing trade. So if you're in the Discord, if you follow me on Twitter, what I basically said last week is that from now on, or at least for the time being in this current market condition, if a trade goes up over 10% and it falls all the way back down to the entry, I'm just canceling out the trade, because I'm not going to let a trade that was up over 10% turn into a losing trade and hit the stop loss. So that's what happened on CCIV. At one point, the CCIV trade was up 11%, but then today it came back down to the entry of the trade. So I'm doing exactly what I said I would do last Friday, and what I'm going to be doing moving forward. I'm just canceling it out. So cancel that trade out, break even, since it was up 11%, then came back down to the entry. So cancel that one out, and then Apple we're going to go over. It was pretty close to the stop loss when I stopped out the trade, but it just broke the support with confirmation. The NASDAQ looked ugly, so I stopped it out and it went lower after that. So that's like the overview of the day. Not too bad, but could have been a lot better. Just, really big drop in the indexes in the afternoon. But hopefully, like if you're in the Discord, and if you're not in the Discord, there's a link for it in the description. Join the Discord, because I put out so much analysis. I can't even talk. Put out so much analysis on the indexes during the day, on the S&P, on the NASDAQ, sometimes on the QQQ, and that really helps in order to predict where stocks could be moving intraday. For example, today I warned about how the Nasdaq was pretty bearish in the morning, and the Nasdaq almost like, I don't want to say dumped, but it pulled back pretty hard in the afternoon. Then for an example, on Friday, when the S&P was all the way at the bottom of the channel, it was at the bottom of this whole entire move down. When it was all the way, let me go to the daily. This was on Friday when it was down here. I also alerted the Discord that I thought that the short-term fall was over, and that turned out to be correct, thankfully, and it had a big bounce. So not only on Friday, but also today, I was able to anticipate the intraday move in the market just using technicals, and I always share that with the Discord. So, and that obviously affects most stocks, right? Most of the trades had a very nice move on Friday afternoon because the indexes were rallying, and then a lot of the trades today had a bad move in the afternoon because a lot of the indexes were falling in the afternoon. And both of those things happened. I happened to be able to alert that to Discord before both of those moves happened. So, Discord, join. It's really hard for you to hear me when I'm whispering because my mic has like a noise gate on it, but I was whispering during the Discord unless you heard me. Now I look stupid. Cheddar Free says, nice layout. Thank you. Put on this new one over the weekend so you could see my chart a little bit better. Last one was like kind of like stretched out. Ethereum and TAK were guy in hats only positive today. Yeah, I was even the whole entire day up until the last hour, and then I closed the day red. I was literally from January to the end of to the last week of February or something, I might have had one red day. Like literally in the first probably, I don't know how many trading days are in a month, but pretty much all of January and the first like 2 or 3 weeks of February, I had maybe one, 2 or 3 bad red days. Other than that, like lights out. Those were the best months ever. Or January was the best month ever in the beginning of February for me. But then the last couple of weeks, I've had a few. Well, not a few. Then more than a. And I talk more than a few red days, and I don't care. I don't have an ego with that stuff. I'm just here to be transparent. So I don't even know overall. I haven't even checked, but I assume overall this year, I think I've maybe had around 10, 11, 12, around that many red days, something like that. But still, most days are green. I can't remember how many trading days there have been this year, but that's my guess. Apple's close to 200-day moving average. Yeah, let's look at all the trades real quick. You're correct, it is next to 200-day, but see what happened last time. You probably last time it didn't really matter. Like you fell under the 200-day, then eventually within like a month, within like 2 or 3 weeks, you got back over and then you rallied. So I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't know what my charge is doing right now. But it's just, we'll get to it in a second here. Let's start off with Clover. Let's run through all the stocks. Let me just move charger. If the market is acting right and a stock is acting right, don't be in a hurry to take profits, and vice versa. Yeah, I was gonna say, but not right now. Yeah, and vice versa for sure. And that's what I've been saying. Like in times like these, you get nice profits, and you want to take them. Profits always profit, right? We'll take a look at TAK for sure, guy in hat. Add it to the list. Yeah, let's go look at the charts from all the trades. Make sure to hit that like button. Let's get to 40 likes. We need 11 more people in here to hit that like button. I know the hype is not great in the last couple of weeks. Like, the like numbers, the subscribe numbers, they're all correlated to how the market's doing. But if you want to support what I'm doing, showing up no matter what's happening, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. And yeah. If you want to send me a tip, that's the pinned comment in the chat and the first link in the description. Clover. It looks pretty decent still, but again, like I was saying, I think last night on stream, if you remember UWMC, it didn't just go to the PCZ once and then take off, it double bottomed at the PCC. That's very, very common for the buyers to confirm twice that the PCZ is your real demand zone. So you could easily come all the way back down to the PCZ on Clover before going higher. I just want to make that very, very clear. It's not like you hit the PCZ and immediately go up all the time. That happened on many other things I put out like Dogecoin and Fisker, their harmonics, but on UWMC and on CCIV, not CCIV, and on Clover, it might not be that way. So We'll see what happens. We're still developing triple classic bullish divergence on the Clover chart. You bounced off of the exact $6.35. Not all the way there, you were like 3 or 4 cents off, but pretty much off the exact PCZ is where you bounced. Secondary one, it blew right through the first one, and then it bounced off the second one. When I put out the trade, I did write in the description of the trade both of the PCZs. First one was 705, the second one was 635, and it just ended up bouncing off of the 635 one. So yeah, I mean, at one point in this trade, it was up 16% since the first PCZ and 30% since the second PCZ. But it's, you know, it pulled back today. Now it's up about 5% since the first PCZ and about 16 or 17% since the lower second PCZ. So it just depends on where you entered. I also alerted the Discord on, I think it was Friday, when it was at that second PCZ. But yeah, at this point, let's go look at the lower time frames. Right over here, it kind of looks a little bit, it was looking like a inverse head and shoulders with this is your left shoulder, this was your head, this was your right shoulder. But then when the NASDAQ fell in the afternoon, it kind of fell under. So, you know, those low 15-minute technicals don't matter too much. I'm more concerned with the daily and the 4-hour. I mean, as long as you're above 635 on Clover, you're good. And what you're hoping for is the MACD to cross over to green on the 4-hour. You can get those two things to happen, to not fall under 635 and to have your MACD cross over green. You could see a move up for sure. I mean, you even have a gap fill like 10 something. And there's really no resistance on Clover until 991. That was your support over here. There's no real like high time frame resistance until 991. But you need to get going, right? You should see some more demand. Saying PCZ is a mouthful, pattern completion zone. Thank you, Cheddar, for putting in the Discord link. Checked out your boxing video, looked pretty good. You still box? Yeah, about like, you know, for half an hour, 45 minutes every day. But yeah, let's get back to it. Let's look at Fisker. Another one had a very, very nice open. A lot of the trades pretty much had a very good morning and then a terrible afternoon. At one point today, the Fisker trade was up almost 10%. And now it's only up like what, 2%? 1 hour classic, I mean not classic, 1 hour hidden bullish divergence on Fisker is confirmed. Remember, it did get stop hunted over here, so you might have gotten stopped out of the trade. But again, I was talking in the Discord, and on Friday I alerted everybody the trades that I was not going to actually be stopping out that got stop hunted, just because they still looked fine and the market looked bullish on the indexes on Friday morning. That's why you should be in the Discord, otherwise you're not getting all these updates. So as long as you're above 2093, you're good on Fisker. TNK, it broke out today. Had a nice day. It was up 1.2%. The trade itself is up about 3%. The technicals here are pretty nice. Hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour, almost confirmed. Just bullish convergence on the daily. And then you were flipping this 1242 resistance into a support. A little bit of a bull flag. You broke out of it. You bounced off the 200-day moving average. Trades in profit. As long as you're above 1242, you're good. And if anything, if you want to tighten your stop loss now that the trade's actually going up, you definitely can. US had a good day today. It was up a little bit higher in the morning, but the QS trade is up 12%. Another one that was stop hunted on Friday morning. Pretty much like half the ones I'm about to show you were. But again, that was all alerted in the Discord that I wasn't stopping them out on Friday when I looked at the indexes and they looked bullish. But yeah, ignoring the stop hunt, the trade is up 12%. You're showing classic bullish divergence developing on the daily and the 4-hour. Well, not on the daily actually, it was, but the wick is not waning anymore, I guess because it pulled back in the afternoon. It is developing on the 4-hour though. As long as you're above like 41 bucks on QS, you're good. So, I mean, take profits whenever you want to. Just don't let it turn into a losing trade if the market pulls back again. FEYE. I really want it to hold above $19.13. The reason I'm saying that is because if we go back in time, it was your high over here and it was your high over here. So I want it to become your support right now. Hopefully, you are showing triple classic bullish divergence on FEYE right now. I just really want you to hold 19 bucks if you're in the FEYE trade. So we'll see what happens. Just fell from 25 to like 17 or 18 bucks. Now it's at 19. You want to definitely hold 19. ATRA. I'd lowered the stop loss on this trade. That was also alerted in the Discord. For all of these trade updates, you definitely need to be in the Discord. Even though I also showed this on stream last night, that's actually when I loosened it. But yeah, I loosened the stop loss here because the initial stop loss was a 3% loss. It was way too tight. And you're showing a triple classic bullish divergence on this as well on the 4-hour. And classic bullish divergence almost confirmed on the daily on ATRA. Bounced off the 200-day moving average. You had a bullish pin bar candle. This is one of the best looking charts I see right now. I just hope that the market could maybe allow it to play out. Even if the market goes up, it doesn't mean it's going to play out for sure. But candles, moving averages, divergence, supports, that's pretty much just everything you look for, except for maybe like an actual pattern. But you could, if you could really stretch this into like a falling wedge if you wanted to, like if I really wanted to, I mean, not even that, maybe just like a channel, unless you ignore that wick. But whatever, you are showing this demand line and you bounced off of it. Technicals look great. Hopefully it plays out. We'll see what happens. Palantir and BigCommerce, I'm not too sure. Just to be straightforward with both Palantir and BigCommerce, you closed under your supports today. On Palantir, you closed under your support. On BigCommerce, you closed under your support. And both of them are pretty close to the stop losses. They didn't hit the actual or close at the actual stop losses, but pretty close. I'm just, they're not stopped out. I'm hoping maybe the market can have a good open tomorrow and they can bounce back. But if they don't bounce in the morning, take caution on Palantir and BigCommerce because they're under supports. That's where they closed. So tough for sure. They were looking good. Palantir even started off good. It was up like 5 or 6% in the beginning trade, but it's not playing out the way I planned. I just think, the market screwing up a lot of these trades, even though a lot of them are starting off well. So yeah, now let's talk about the new trades today. I put out 4 new trades today. The first one was XPEV. This is the only one that's down, and it's down 1% since the entry. You're showing classic bullish divergence developing on the daily, classic bullish divergence developing on the 4-hour, and you're pretty much at, or you bounced off of the PCZ of a pretty close to a bullish butterfly. On a bullish butterfly, you want this number right here to be a 0.786, so it was a little bit deep, but it's, in my opinion, close enough. And this would be like your first PCZ of it. That's really what you're playing right here. And then I put this $25 support because it was your high over here, and that's about it. So you're really playing the divergence in the pattern here. And that's really it. I mean, this thing sold off crazy. They had earnings this morning. It was up 6% at one point. I did not put out the trade when it was up 6% today. I waited and I waited, and then finally in the afternoon it fell. And when it was down 3% on the day, I put out this trade, and then it closed down 4%, so the trade's down 1%. Looking for a reversal soon. Hopefully it comes in. You even had a bullish pin bar on Friday like most stocks. Trade's down 1%. We'll see how this divergence develops. Futures on the S&P still up about 0.5%. NBIO, and then the other 3 trades I'm about to show you, I also waited until the afternoon to put them out. I was really, XPV was the only new trade I put out in the morning because it was already falling. And then I was waiting for NBIO and for Space, and I'll talk about the third one. Because NBIO and Space were up. Space was up 6% in the morning, and then it closed down 3%. So I've really been making it a point on the last couple of weeks to only be posting trades when the market is falling, and not to be posting trades when the market's going up, because pretty much what's been happening for the last couple of weeks is whenever you go up, you sell off, and then whenever you sell off, you go back up a little bit, right? So I've always been waiting for the intraday dips to be putting on my trades. That's what I did on NBIO and Space. NBIO, the entry is 302. So it's 0%. It's pretty much, it closed right at the entry. You were developing hidden bullish divergence on the daily. It's kind of stalling out a little bit right now on your MACD and RSI. The 4-hour triple classic bullish divergence is also still developing though. I mean, not also, but this one is developing. And if you see, 294 was your support kind of in this whole entire area right over here. So I'm hoping you can hold that. Yeah, 3 reward to risk. Pretty much the target is, you do have a resistance at 362. You probably want to take some profit there if it does get there, if it allows it, but the actual target is just kind of in between the 2 resistances. And yeah, that's NBIO. Earnings are on the 22nd, so there's still some time. It doesn't look as good as when I posted it because you were showing the hidden bullish divergence developing, but I kind of stopped. So I don't know, maybe give it a little bit more time to confirm these levels, maybe double bottom or something. It is a little bit early, I'm not gonna lie, but you are right around the support, so it's not too hard to manage your risk. But yeah, let's look at Space, the other one I put out. You just started developing hidden bullish divergence on the daily. It's way too early to even really call anything. Eventually, potentially, it's a funny way to say it, but eventually you could create hidden bullish divergence on the daily on the MACD and RSI as long as you don't fall under 23. But if we look at the 4 hour, that's really what you're playing, is the hidden bullish divergence on the 4 hour is starting to develop pretty nicely. Also, bounced off of the 200-day moving average, a horizontal support, and you created, no, never mind, this wasn't really a hammer. So, I mean, Space just really dumped. I mean, it was a combination of the news catalyst type going away, and also, I believe, selling from people in the company. So, I just think going from, my nose is itchy, I think going from like $62 to 26 in what, a month is pretty extreme. And now you're finally at an area where it's not too hard to manage your risk with the 200-day moving average and the support and the divergence on the 4 hour. So that's the idea there. Honestly, on NBIO and on Space, if you want to wait a little bit more for them to maybe create like double bottoms or actually confirm the divergences, go for it. It is a little bit early. I'm trying to say that right now when they're still right at the entries of the trades, but they've really been falling. I think they're both oversold on the RSI. They are both oversold on the RSI, and they're near support. So that's why I kind of put them out. So if you want to wait for more of a confirmation, always, your choice. And then the final trade, it's not like a trade to use by itself. I mean, it could be actually, but really the idea on UVXY, which is what I put out today, this is what I always do personally, but I never really share it. This is the UVXY. It's an ETF for the volatility index. Remember, the VIX usually goes up when the market is going down. So one thing I've noticed here on the UVXY is that even when the market was going up on Friday afternoon and this morning, it really wasn't getting crushed. Usually this thing gets absolutely slaughtered when the market goes up, but it really hasn't been getting crushed. So it might be doable to manage your risk as long as it stays above the all-time low at 822. This is not really a technical trade. I mean, there's maybe a little bit of classic bullish divergence on the daily. That's really it. But the idea of this trade is you just throw on a 10% stop loss, and you're targeting just 1135, which is just kind of like your little resistance from right there. It looks a little bit weird, but really the idea of holding this is that if you are in long positions and you have trades, and there's like another weird flash crash in the market in the morning or in the afternoon or whenever it is, at least not all of your positions are going down. You can actually make some profit off of this trade and then maybe cost average those positions or scale out of those positions because you might be able to make some profit here. So however you want to use this trade, go for it. But please, and pretty much your brokerage should send you an email or give you a notification if you get this. Don't hold this over time. This is I wrote short term on the trade, and this is a very short term thing. A lot of the time when I play, what I do is I only use it intraday and I don't hold it overnight. But really the reason I'm saying that is because over time, all this thing does is go down. All it does is go down over time. But when the market is being bearish and volatile on those days that it is being bearish and volatile, this can go up like 20, 25, 30%, even higher. So it's just something to have a stop loss on and to be using to offset any risks in your long positions. If you are comfortable risking 10% on this position, right? So this is only for advanced traders. You're basically hedging your positions with all the market volatility. So again, this is for advanced traders. It's not financial advice, and do not hold this. That's not financial advice either. I can't technically say that, but your brokerage will tell you to not hold this over time, to only use it in the short term as a hedge, because over time it pretty much only goes down. But it does have these spikes, like you saw right over here, when the market has a flash move downside, typically. And yeah, that's most of the trades. Just really quickly to recap Apple, the reason I stopped out this trade is pretty much after the stop regardless. It didn't really matter that I kind of pinged the Discord, but I pinged the Discord when it was at 117, so maybe just saved a little bit there. But you were no longer holding support. You broke the horizontal support on Apple. You broke the demand line on the 4 hour, and it's not at support. So it doesn't look too good in my opinion. unless the whole entire tech sector rallies, because I mean it's been dropping. So maybe the Nasdaq rallies, but even the Nasdaq chart had a bearish pattern on it. So it just, you know, the trade started off well. I think it was up at one point around like 5 or 6%, but you just broke support. So that's why the stop loss was there. Maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. That's just how the trade was set up. Always your choice, but that's what it was. And then SNDL, this kind of annoyed me during the day. But at one point today, the SNDL trade that I put out, I put this trade out on Friday. At one point, pretty much in the around the open, this trade was at 25% profit, and it was 4 cents away from the target. The trade was up 25%, pretty close to target. Whenever a trade gets near the target, you should already just be taking some profits because it's around that resistance area. So probably this was the best time to be taking profits. But then in the afternoon when the Nasdaq was dumping, I was like, there's no way I'm letting a trade that's up 25% turn into a losing trade. A little bit, I wasn't like emotional, but I didn't want to see it happen again after what happened with XL and KNDI and Helion and Fubo and all of those. I did not want to see a very good winning trade turn into a losing trade. I did not want that again. I kind of just said in the Discord that I'm taking it off of the sheet. I'm locking in the profits when it was at 112. It was up like 16%. I kind of just closed out there. And then a bunch of not tech stocks, a bunch of pot stocks kind of rallied like right after that. I think there might have been some news or whatever, and I also said in the Discord when I was doing this, that if you want to remain in the position, it's completely your choice. It's a winning trade. You can always just place a stop loss and profit. That's what I usually do. I just did not want to see another winning trade turn into a losing one. That's why I kind of made that decision. But is there 2 songs? I think it might have just been that one song. I don't know what's going on with the music tonight. I might just need it. I'm going to change the playlist up. I don't like the complaints I'm getting. And you're right. Whenever the music's bad, let me know, because I don't want to have bad music on the stream. So let me switch up the playlist. Alright, hopefully it sounds better now. And yeah, thank you for letting me know. So that's SNDL. That recaps all the trades from today. We did it. Let's go. Futures still up about 0.5%. Bitcoin still up about 2% on the new day. I switched the place, should be good now. And yeah, that recaps everything from today. Hopefully that helped. Yeah. I don't know what tomorrow's gonna hold. Futures are up for now. Just watch them overnight. But hopefully things get better. Just it's a 50-50 in terms of technicals. I believe there is some vote. I think correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I saw, the House was the first vote on the bill, then the House gave the bill to the Senate, then the Senate made their proposal, and now I think either tomorrow or Wednesday, the House is going to vote on the Senate's proposal of their proposal, and then after that, Biden's going to have to sign it. So we're approaching the final steps of the stimulus. From what I believe, it can be done this week. If I'm wrong, please let me know. I was just reading an article, and that was my interpretation. So I think we're like maybe 75% of the way there, maybe a little bit more. My opinion, I'm sorry if I'm wrong, I'm not a news source. I know people are very picky about their news, which you definitely should be, considering what's been going on the last few years, and that's not political, it's just, again, my opinion. If you don't like my opinion, I'm sorry. I respect your opinion. But there you go. Alright, that was me trying to interpret. I know how political streams can get, so I'm not trying to turn political. It just affects the market, so I have to talk about it. Yeah. No, take a request, or I just wasn't doing them last night because I was super tired and it really didn't matter because I needed to see how the market opened. Well, I guess in hindsight it kind of would have mattered for sure, but a lot of the time going into the week, it's just like I want to see how the market opens first before I try and put on any new trades. That's why I didn't put out any new trades yesterday. I was waiting until the market opened, and then I put out the new trades today during the day. But yeah, we'll do some ticket requests in a second here. And I don't know, it's just with the one-on-one classes I've been doing, I definitely get a little bit tired because I'm charting like 8 hours a day right now, I think, between me charting myself, me updating the trades in the Discord, me streaming, and doing the one-on-one calls. It's a lot of charting. I'm looking at so many tickers off stream. So can we listen to Juice WRLD? We could, but I I don't care about copyright. That's not the issue. I always play copyrighted music. I get copyrighted every stream. So that's not the issue. The issue is I don't want to play music with lyrics, because then it's weird to hear my voice when somebody else is like singing or rapping. It's like so many words at the same time. So I kind of just have to play music without lyrics. Yeah. So that recaps everything. If you want to support the stream, make sure to hit that like button. We're pretty close to 50 likes. If you want to subscribe, we're really close to 2,300 subscribers. So definitely subscribe to the stream. Oh yeah, and also school. I forgot to say that. That's also what I'm doing. I kind of forget about school sometimes. You're not hearing that, Yukon. Always remember school. Yeah, we're 5 subscribers away from 2,300. What else was I gonna... Oh yeah, if you want to support the stream as well, if you want to send me a tip, that's the pinned comment in the chat and the first link in the description. So, let's look at guy in hats ticker that we were talking about earlier. Okay. I already charted this. I think we went over this before for sure. Inverse head and shoulders. Looks like there's some divergence going MACD. Side. Kind of diverge. So daily divergence on the MACD. Inverse head and shoulders. I think we were looking at this maybe last week when you and Christian were on the stream. Maybe I'm wrong, but resistances would be 1911, 2038, and then 2166. From what I'm looking at here, 1911 is kind of like your neckline of your inverse head and shoulders. 2038 is like your supports from right here, right over here as well. 2166 was like your candle lines over there. So those could be targets. I mean, how would I set up a trade right here? There's something, because you're also breaking over the 200-day moving average, which I like. Probably just go for the middle target, be a little bit conservative, and then stop loss, maybe under Friday's low. Get a 2.3 reward to risk. I mean, if you break out of this inverse head and shoulders, you'd probably just go for the second target, because that's a pretty real pattern, right? In the measured move of this inverse head and shoulders, let's see what that is. Yeah, the measured move would pretty much put you way over the target. So I'd go for the third target, 26. Definitely take some profits at the first 2 resistances. Yeah, stop loss pretty much just under below Friday. Something like that. You gotta do reward to risk. Risking 6% to try and make 20%, but in all fairness, there probably was a little bit of a better entry up to date. Would you hold it Exxon for long term or sell? We can take a look. Any advice for trying to swing with T restrictions in down market? Wait for dips. Don't be buying when the market's rallying. That's not financial advice. That's just you're asking me a question. That's my answer to it. Okay. Wait for like the intraday dips and stuff. Don't be entering when the market's rallying during the volatility, right? Because during volatility, usually after the rally, you sell off, and then vice versa. But when the market is strong, you could be buying high and selling higher. Pretty much what happened throughout the last year. Oh yeah, you brought it up before. Looks pretty good for sure. George says, I asked last night about mental versus hard stops. Do you ever set limit sells in case price pops up? Yeah. I usually only do mental stop losses, but I place physical sell orders just in case I'm eating lunch or whatever it is, and I want to take profits, right? Yeah, let me add a few of these stickers in here. SOS, I have no clue. I just personally, I don't trade things that are a straight line up or a straight line down. I like waiting for more confirmation. I know that's a little bit contradictory because of what's it called, space and NBIO, right? But on those trades, you have more than just that. You have the hidden bullish divergence, 200-day moving average, the support, being oversold on the RSI, pretty much on both of the trades, like the same thing. Triple classic bullish divergence, out of support, oversold on the RSI. That's why I put out those trades. But like when you don't have the divergence or the moving averages and you're not oversold on the RSI, it just makes it a little bit tough to kind of even not predict but anticipate anything. So I can see it going either way. Of course, it just went from 16 to $5. Could have a retrace? Absolutely. It's very normal supply. It's not too sure how you would manage. I don't really see a pattern or divergence. Would you hold XRM for long term or sell? I mean, if you're talking fundamentally, oil, gas, been going crazy. I know if Christian's watching this, he's happy. Crazy moves. He definitely was anticipating all of this sector. But I mean, eventually you're thinking it would create some bearish divergence. It's way too early to kind of tell, but I mean, if you got in at value areas, like real value areas is where you got in, you could always just place a stop loss in very deep profit. There definitely is more upside. I mean, your next resistance, because you already broke the gap fill, your next resistance is like 64.50 on X1. That was your low over here. Then you have like 66, have like 71.50. So there definitely is more room, but I mean, you know, there was much better times to be in. Pretty much just went straight from $31 to $60. I mean, look how crazy this line is. Pretty much just went there. Like maybe one or two pullbacks along the way. And it's just been a SSRM. Showing classic bullish divergence on the daily. We're oversold on your RSI without divergence. Also have classic bullish divergence, which is already confirmed on your 4-hour MACD and on your 4-hour RSI. So a lot of divergence. Yeah, and you kind of bounced off of your support, right? This is pretty tradable, honestly. Let's trade something like this. SSRM. Much enter around here. Target around right under $17 maybe. Stop loss under this swing low over here. Pretty much get 3 words to risk. You're risking about 6% to make 16. Very, very tradable. SSRM. Could you explain how the movement in the VIX correlates to the market? Typically, the volatility index is a lagging indicator, which means the market kind of needs to fall before this goes up most of the time. So it's a lagging indicator, but it can be used to see what level we're at, so you can compare this level with the history of the VIX and see where does the VIX go up to over time before it reverses. And what I've kind of noticed, if I guess we go on the weekly, there's 2 reversal zones on the VIX. Typically, when it either comes up to between 28 and 34, there could be a reversal, but if it breaks that, next potential reversal zone is between 45 and 50. And if you break 50, the market's probably crashing. That's the easiest way to put it. So, I mean, the last 2 times they broke 50 is the mortgage crisis and then COVID crash. You're really, I mean, I think there was like a scam wick or something. But yeah, if you get over like 50, 55, the market's crashing. That's the easiest way to put it. You're not even close to there. But yeah, you can just use it to compare it to price times in the past and see where potential layers are. But it's a volatility index, and as you can see on the chart, it's very volatile by itself. So yeah, let me add some more tickers. Make sure to hit that like button. We need 3 more likes to get 50 likes. We need, I think, 5 more subscribers to get 2,300 subscribers, so we can hit some cool stuff if the people in the stream want us to hit some cool stuff tonight. You know, milestones. Want to send me a tip and you want to support the stream, that's a pinned comment in the chat and the first link in the description. So yeah, I definitely need to fix my camera. I look kind of weird, but I'll fix the camera before if I remember. I'm in a different room tonight, can't tell. So let's add some more tickets to the watch list, I guess. And if you request something that I can't really analyze, I'm probably going to skip it. Don't take it personally. Man, I can't even go on Twitter nowadays. I went on Twitter this morning. I posted like a GIF as a joke, but like, Twitter, come on. I remember like the last like 4 or 5 months, Twitter was so fun. Everybody's just hyped up, making so much money. And then the last couple of weeks, I just go on Twitter. It's depressing. It's honestly pretty sad. It's so quiet. Nobody cares about anything. It's toxic. I want Twitter to be cool. Discord's awesome. I'm so glad that we made Discord. I don't know. I'm just having a small talk with y'all. Some of you realize the same thing. I'm a huge Twitter guy. I spend a lot of my day on Twitter. Just in general, the whole entire hype around the market has been lacking in the last couple of weeks. That's like a very bearish indicator, I guess. It's been one. I already looked at this. So I'm getting confused right now. Mic is breaking up. Yeah, people heard him with the pullback. Hopefully my mic's good now. I'm just gonna put it up a little bit and then let's see. Put up the microphone and lower it on Streamlabs. It should be better now. Hopefully it's better. Okay. So QQQ, somebody was talking about the bearish divergence. I mean the bullish divergence, sorry. I mean there was bullish divergence. I know people in the Discord were pinging me, asking about it, my thoughts on the bullish divergence on the 4-hour, on the QQQ, and on the Nasdaq. It doesn't really matter unless you can be over a resistance, right? You were showing bullish divergence. I even charted it when I was charting things today. I looked at it, I saw it, but I didn't say anything about it in the Discord, as you can tell. I didn't talk about it on Twitter. Didn't even talk about it on stream that much. I might have mentioned it a little bit earlier, but it didn't really matter. And why do I say that? Because you were still bearish on the chart. Like this was such a textbook bearish thing that happened today that I didn't really care about the divergence. Like somebody asked me in the Discord, what's your thoughts on like the bullish divergence? And like pretty much just said like, it doesn't really matter unless you get back above 13K on your Nasdaq. You know, and that's pretty much what played out, right? It was creating it, but then when it dumped, you're not creating it, you're stalling out. You're not developing your divergence because you had a break hook and go on the Nasdaq and then you're dropping. So, I mean, yes, it can definitely develop again. Hopefully it can let you pivot and break 13K, but as long as you're under 13K, I don't think it matters. If you break 13K, then we're talking. If you're under 13K, I'm just not bullish on tech unless the Nasdaq's back over 13K. Just because of how real that is. S&P, on the other hand, it's hanging in there. It's hanging in there. I think that's why we saw, you know, the Dow Jones, was that DGIA maybe? I'm just gonna type it in. DGI. Dow Jones has been rallying. I mean, look at that. And then tech has just been dropping. So a lot of rotation. Somebody said UWMC. The trade already played out. It was a 51% profit trade in about 4 or 5 days. Shout out to Guy and Hat for spotting that PCZ. Trade already played out, and then it pretty much sold off all the way back down to like where the trade started. Build a gap. And yeah, I was actually charting this earlier today because I saw it went back down to 8, and I was like, hey, maybe there's something new on the chart. There really wasn't. And I charted this today. UWMC is kind of just in like this down sloping channel. You have a bunch of touches on the top of the channel. Then you have like 2 touches on the bottom of the channel. And then, you know, you don't want to fall under this area, which was like your all-time low. So that's kind of what I charted. I was looking today, I was scanning through my tickers, and that's really what I came out with on that. People talking about Zach Morris. I don't know if he deleted his Twitter or if it's just like deactivated. I don't want to talk too much about it. That's his own personal reasons. I've always been a fan of Zach Morris. I know a lot of people don't like him on Twitter, but a lot more people do like him on Twitter, right? That's just what happens when you have 400,000 followers. There's going to be a lot of haters that are jealous, that just, you know, I think another thing, and I talked about it with Atlas before, they're just so popular. And the thing is, on Twitter, so many new traders look at all the Atlas plays and they just don't know how to use that information. And they're not managing the risk. They're not taking profits. They're just entering all the Atlas plays. Like they're just market buying and just hoping. You know, Atlas, I do like what Atlas is doing. All of them. I just think a lot of people don't know how to interpret that information, and then they hate on Atlas for their own mistakes. And so, you know, I've never hated on Atlas. I'm a fan of a lot of them: Ripster, Brady, PJ Matlock, Zach Morris. It's just, that's what's gonna happen, you know. And I don't know the exact reasons for why he did. I just know what people are talking about. It's just when you have that many followers, there's a lot of pressure. People blame you for their own mistakes. And if I'm ever there one day, I hope that I don't have too many haters, even though I already have a few. But I definitely understand where he could be coming from if that's the reason for it. But again, it's his own reasons. I don't want to talk too much about it. I haven't really talked to him directly, but he follows me on Twitter. We've talked on Twitter a couple times. And yeah, only had good interactions with Zach Morris publicly on Twitter. Nothing bad to say. And hope the best for Atlas and Zach and all of them. You know, those are people I look up to. They're pretty much doing the same thing I'm doing on a much bigger scale. I take motivation from them, and only good words to say. I don't care if I get hate for that. It's just part of, you know, what I'm trying to do and what they're doing. Hate's just inevitable. And that's all I'm really going to say on it. So I know a lot of people are talking about it. I really don't have that many haters. I just kind of exaggerate it. Just some people on Twitter. Really on YouTube, I don't remember the last time somebody's been like directly hating me in the chat. Like YouTube and Discord, I don't remember the last time I actually had a real hater. Twitter is just toxic in general. You could have 2 followers on Twitter and somebody will be hating on you. It really doesn't matter, but it's Twitter. But I have so many more supporters on Twitter, so. I used to be terrible with haters. I used to be replying to every single comment of people criticizing me and giving them the attention. Now it's just like if I really do reply to somebody on Twitter that's hating on me, congratulations, you got me. It's very, very rare. I've only done it maybe once or twice in the past month. But at this point, I just kind of block it out. I'm just trying to see what else is in the chat. I know we have a lot of tickers to look at. Sorry for everybody who dropped tickers. I know I'm just talking a lot. But don't worry, I'll run through all these. GHVI. W. I typed that incorrectly. GHVI. Of course. INVO. I usually don't play gaps after hours, I'm gonna be honest. Again, I remember you here last night on stream. Please don't take this the wrong way. It's just not how I trade. So I'm sure there's many other people that trade that in that direction. I trade very consistent stocks, and that's, you know, kind of what I do. I mean, things like this, it doesn't work for what I do. Technicals work for stable stocks with high market caps, not stocks with actually, the volume is pretty high, but it was really weird on the 4-hour. It's just, I can't really chart that for you. You know, I'm looking at these tickers to chart them for people. You want me to chart this for you, like $3 is your support, but you said it gapped up after hours, so it doesn't really matter. It's just way too volatile, and I can see it going either way. So whenever I see charts like this, I just move on. Doesn't mean you're wrong, doesn't mean I'm right. It just means it's not what I do. So, AFRM, it's a very similar thing. There's just not enough data on the chart for me to analyze. Some people have literally gotten mad at me for just saying I can't do anything, but I mean, what do you want me to do here? It's just like, is that what you wanted? I don't know, right? I kind of just do it as a joke sometimes. I'm sorry, don't take that the wrong way. I just can't really do anything with those types of charts. Same thing here. I mean, you're showing a little bit of hidden bullish divergence, but it needs to develop more. On the 4-hour, you actually have some nice hidden bullish divergence. Not gonna lie. I don't know where 176 is from. It's just really, really volatile. I don't really know how to chart this. I don't think it's too I mean, if you go on like the 1 hour, sure, but it's just not how I chart. Tesla, pretty harsh dump. You don't have support until $503. I mean, it just fell from 900 bucks to 563. If the market goes up, it's probably Tesla's gonna make a common retrace. But in terms of like the actual chart, and if the market doesn't carry Tesla with it, 503 is your next support on Tesla. You're not even, you still can develop hidden bullish divergence. No, you can't actually. Never mind. You can't develop hidden bullish divergence. Yeah, you broke under your lowest from right there. So no divergence, no pattern, just a straight line down. Your next support's 503. RMO got crushed. I mean, I think this might be fundamental. From a charting standpoint, your resistance would be like 10 bucks, which was like your SPAC redemption share support price. If you're under 10, that's bearish. You need to get back above 10 and you need to hold above it. FTFT is showing triple classic bullish divergence on the daily, but it needs to develop more for sure to go back down towards green to confirm it. I guess your support would be right here then. $4.04 is like your support, I guess. It could turn into a double bottom, sure, right? If it does this, it definitely turn into a double bottom, but you need more confirmation first. It just might require some more life. You did have a bullish hammer candle on Friday, like most stocks. Might just need some more confirmation, but as long as you're over $4, you're good. On ASXC, I think this is like your demand line, something like that. A little bit of hidden bullish divergence on the daily and on the 4 hour as well. So hidden bullish divergence. As long as you hold this demand line, this actually looks pretty decent. Not gonna lie, it looks pretty decent if you can hold that demand line. CWH, looks like I charted before. Downtrend, it broke out of it. It bounced off of the $26 support, then it ran again. Then it came back down over here and it hammered, or yeah, pretty much hammer candled on Friday like most stocks off the 200-day moving average. You're showing some hidden bullish divergence on the daily MACD, on the daily RSI, and not on the 4 hour. As long as you're over the 200-day moving average, or like as long as you're over $30, I guess you're fine. A support could be $33. The next resistance would probably be 39. So your support would be 33, after 33, then $30, and then your next resistance is 39. Apps. Your support's like $61 from your high over here. You want, as long as you're over 61, you're fine, but there's no divergence, no pattern. So that's that. EW, no divergence on the daily, no divergence on the 4 hour. Maybe like a channel, I don't know. Something like that. Like, there's so many different ways you can look at this. I'm gonna look at it like this. I'm gonna give it a bullish pattern, okay? It could be argued different ways, but I like how there's a pretty clear sell at $7.60 and a demand line. So it looks like it could be at the beginning of an ascending triangle, but you might need some more confirmation and divergence and things like that. GHVI, not enough data on the chart. Let me check out the daily. Yeah, no. There's not even a MACD, so I can't really do much here. Last time I drew a bullish dinosaur. Yeah, RMO, I can't, I don't think RMO is bullish unless you're back over 10. Reminds me of Clover when Clover broke under 10, but I thought Clover looked good. I was wrong there. Yeah, I think you need to get back over 10, otherwise you don't have any support, and I don't think you can create a harmonic pattern. I mean, I don't think so. No, you go to 70, that's already like invalidated. I don't think so. Maybe, I don't, it's just not too clear for me. I've not heard about that indicator. Yeah, we did look at Bitcoin. The trade's almost at the target, or the first target. Bitcoin was the first thing I looked at. Pretty much hasn't moved. I alerted Bitcoin about 8 days ago when it was at 45K. Since that alert, it's up 18%, and it's pretty close to my target, which was like right under 55K. It's trying to break out. It's actually going to confirm it could confirm a 4-hour breakout on the 4-hour chart. I just said that. It could confirm a 4-hour breakout in 43 minutes if it closes above 52.7K. As long as above 52K, you're good on Bitcoin. And it's nearing the first target. I also put a second and third target if it does break the first target, but it's already nearing some profit taking areas for the people who got in at 45K. And again, this is a trade. It's not the investment. If you have a long-term position in Bitcoin, it's completely up to you. But the daily hidden bullish divergence developing. The last time Bitcoin showed daily hidden bullish divergence, it doubled in price, which, I mean, it was helped out by Tesla and a lot of institutional buying. So I don't know if you're going to get that this time, but that's just what happened. Don't shoot the messenger. APHH support at like 1423. Until then, no divergence, no pattern. That's really it. NXTD, your support is $1.08. As long as you're above that, you're good. You could create hidden bullish divergence, kind of, but it's not even developing yet. On the daily, however, it kind of is on the 4 hours. So if your MACD crosses over to green, you will have hidden bullish divergence on your MACD and on your RSI. Well, you need some more confirmation. Sure. These will be the last two tickers. If you want to send me a tip or get some merch and support the stream, that's the pinned comment in the chat, and the first link in the description. If you want to subscribe, I would highly recommend it. We're pretty close to 2,300. And thank you very much. I'm not even going to ask for any more likes because we hit 50 likes. So appreciate that. JMIA. Just been following with the market and a lot of tech, pretty tough pullback. You can no longer really create hidden bullish divergence because you're kind of under that low from right here. I think your next support is 28 bucks. Yeah. I mean, I guess you're trying to hold this low right over here. So I guess your first support is 33. If you break 33, your next support is 28, which was your resistance over here in 2019. And then TIGR. Where's the price at? Wow, this thing mooned. Yeah, interesting. Pretty crazy move. I think maybe you could have a support at 15 bucks. It was like, we go on the 4 hour. Like you came up here, then you rallied, and then you bounced off with 15. So I guess 15 could be your support. You don't fall under 15, you could also create hidden bullish divergence, but it might be a little bit too early. So until then, I'm not too sure. Buying Bitcoin at 10K was one of the best decisions. LL, hope you had a good day, man. This week should be interesting for Bitcoin related plays. I think so. Could be. Yeah. Congratulations getting Bitcoin at 10K. I actually put out an alert on Bitcoin. It was one of the first ever alerts I put out on Twitter when Bitcoin was at 10K. Wish I was still holding, but I'm not, unfortunately. Drew says, thanks for all you do, man. Lost my job in January. I'm sorry to hear that. And your info and trades has kept me afloat. Really humbled to hear that. But also pat yourself on the back for putting in the work. I know, it's definitely was probably a tough time for you, but you overcame that, or you're trying to at least trying to make the most of it, and you're putting in the work. And I'm glad to hear that it's helping out. Just keep it up, keep working hard. Give yourself a big pat on the back for being strong, and wishing the best for you, Drew. But yeah, I think, we looked through a bunch of tickers, covered all the trades, my thoughts on the market. Bitcoin's up, futures are up. Futures are almost at their highs right now. Actually, you know what? Can we get some vibes in the chat for Drew? That's awesome. I mean, it's not awesome you lost your job. I'm saying it's awesome that you're here, you're putting in the work, and you're being strong, right? I mean, I know so many people have told me that same thing. I mean, the more credit has to go out to people who are really putting in the work. Like I really do feel not ungrateful, but like, I don't know the right words to use, like, especially for a lot of people who like me, like, just, I have to give a shout out to people that are in tough situations and are fighting through it. Like, that's, I feel like not enough people recognize that and congratulate that. People just kind of only care about success and stuff like that. So I actually I want to get vibes in the chat for somebody who's putting in the hard work, because that's awesome. So yeah, vibes in the chat for Drew. Keep it up, stay strong. The whole entire FTM is here for you. Everybody dropping vibes in the chat is here for you. And for anybody else who's in a similar situation or who was, keep grinding. Good times are gonna come again. For somebody who's as young as myself, it definitely is hard for me to understand that, because I've never been there. I still live with my parents, so I can't completely understand that situation. But obviously, my support is with you. Thank you for everybody being so supportive. Shout out Drew. Keep it up. Should you put your life savings in Dogecoin? I don't know, you tell me. I wish I did when I was at 1/3 of a cent. I owned Dogecoin as a joke when Dogecoin was 1/3 of 1 cent. It was not even at 1 cent, but I sold it for maybe 30-40% profit or something stupid in hindsight. Yeah, I'm kind of done going over charts for the night. We got through a bunch, so yeah, hopefully all of the chart reads helped or not. I don't know. We'll be back tomorrow night at the same time. Appreciate all the support, everybody coming out. You're the real ones. Bitcoin's up 3% on the new date, and it's almost at the target that I put out. It's close to breaking out, so yeah, let's go Bitcoin. I'm rooting for you. Trade's up 18%. Futures are up 0.7% on the S&P 500. I hope they can hold overnight, but we shall see. That is that. I think that's going to do it. All right. Trade safely tomorrow. Preserve your capital. We're going to make it through this. We've been making it through this. And I'll see you tomorrow night at 9 EST. Have a great night. Peace out. What should I play? Let's play this song. All right, have a good night, everybody. Peace out.